And we're the Twinchesters.
And we just watched Supernatural Season 11, Episode 3, which was called The Bad Seed. So, you know, some stuff's gonna go down.
Yes.
It was pretty much a straightforward episode.
Yeah, I mean, they're just basically looking for a way to cure Cass because he's getting a lot worse. And they bounce back and forth between Rowena and Metatron. They're like, well, if we get Metatron... Like, they have to get Metatron before the other angels get him, because if the other angels get him, that's
Yeah,
bad.
but they're not too concerned about that right now. They know that Rowena's their best bet to curing Cass.
Right.
So Rowena's trying to form a mega coven.
Coven.
Which is better than a grand coven, apparently.
Yes.
And she's failing miserably.
Yeah, nobody trusts her, nobody believes her.
All the witches that were in the Grand Coven know that she killed the High Priestess, or whatever you want to call her, of the Grand Coven.
And she's psycho.
And also they know her
hungry.
son's after her to kill her. So Crowley's pretty chill trying to kill her with the demon in the restaurant.
Yeah, and that doesn't work because since Rowena has the Book of the Damned and the Codex, she's become even more powerful than when we saw her last season. So she's going to be a lot harder to kill.
And because of that cafe incident, the Winchesters get a hold of it.
Yeah,
and they're pretty sure that Rowena's involved in it.
Yeah, so they wind up being able to catch her as she's trying to make an exit in a blonde wig and sunglasses, because apparently that's the best disguise.
Her hair is bright red.
Yeah.
So it's not a wig.
Yeah. Blonde. Anyway, so they get Rowena, and they make a deal that she has to cure Cass, and basically, what was it, like, they'll let her go?
Yeah, they'll let her go, and then Dean realizes she doesn't have the Book of the Damned, so he adds on the Book of the Damned to their deal. He was like, you cure Cass, you give us the Book of the Damned, we'll let you go, we won't kill you.
Right, and of course, you know, Rowena's not having that.
Yeah, and while they're having this conversation, Cass escapes.
Yes.
He's getting worse and worse as the episode progresses, and this is pretty much like the peak of it.
Like the climax of
He's
it.
getting real bad, so he runs off and finds a lone, unsuspecting lady.
Of course.
And chases her down an alleyway. Creepy.
Yeah. So meanwhile, the boys and Rowena are in the car, like, tracking Cass's GPS on his phone, and Rowena decides to let it slip about her deal with Sam, that if she removes the mark from Dean, Sam will kill Crowley.
I kind of forgot about that until she mentioned it.
Yeah, and then, of course, Dean's like, what the heck is she talking about? What do you mean? Like, what's going on?
Again, more secrets.
But I was kind of proud of him, though, because he didn't flip out.
Well, he probably didn't want to give Rowena the satisfaction that she got into him. Because she purposely said it, because she knew Dean didn't know.
That's true.
She 100% knew. She wouldn't have brought it up unless she knew Dean didn't know.
That's very true.
Because that's just who she is.
Yeah, but sometimes Dean...
I like how she said, like, family matters are my specialty.
Right? Like, oh my gosh. Anyway, so they wind up finding Cass just in time, and he starts beating the crap out of Dean.
Which, payback.
Yeah, he kind of deserved it. Which he does say at the end of the episode. Because he won't let Cass heal him. But anyway, Rowena cures him, and then, as usual, she escapes with the book.
I mean, it wouldn't be fun if they just kept her around.
Well, that's true. So, meanwhile in hell,
Crowley's Uncle Crowley
Uncle Crowley.
Little Lamara Darkness.
He's training her in the ways of, like, evil. So he has her watching, like, Hitler videos.
Yeah, he was like, they gave her, like, Hitler's speeches to watch, and they, like, translated them.
So,
what I'm really interested in is the more and more Crowley talks to her, the more and more concerned that he gets.
Yeah, because he realizes that she has an agenda. She's not an impressionable child. She may be in the body of a child, but she's, like, you know, spiritually, mentally,
extremely
she's
mature.
not a child.
Extremely mature.
You come to find out that, well, first of all, she will not talk about how God was able to lock her away. Because that's, like, the first thing that Crowley tries to sneak in. Like, oh, by the way, how was he able to do that? And she's like, I don't want to talk about it. And he's like, oh, crap. So he starts to realize that, you know, there's more to her.
Yeah, because she's, like, out of all the villains that they've encountered, she's the one who is not full-on 100% evil. Like,
right.
or revenge plot
right.
type of evil.
Which is, I
so
think I said this, like, in the first, in the premiere episode that, the premiere video that we did, because I'm curious as to see how she kind of became the darkness. Because as of right now, really the only evil thing that she does is eat souls. She hasn't done anything, like, outwardly evil. She doesn't sound like she's planning anything outwardly evil. It almost sounded like it was between her and God who was going to create everything. Because she's saying how she basically doesn't agree with how God created everything.
Yeah.
Sorry, and how he let everything get so out of control. And she said, you know, I'm going to do things differently.
Because nobody was there when God and darkness were having their first thing. So all of the fear instilled is all hearsay.
Yeah. So
Hell starts freaking out because the cage starts freaking out. And Lucifer probably heard all of that in heaven when he was still an angel.
Yeah.
And the angels are all freaking out because they heard it through stories.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how true these stories are.
I kind of think that there's a lot of
stuff that was
like
hidden.
Falseness in it, because even when she goes into the mirror, like adult darkness kind of pops up. It's like her conscious, like personified, just, you know, to make the scene like actually look good. And she said, you know, everything happened just for God to feed his ego.
Yeah.
You know, like it was an ego trip for him. So I kind of personally think that all the stigma and rumor behind darkness is kind of not all true.
I don't know. I'm very curious to find out.
It could go either way.
One of my favorite parts of the episode though was Crowley trying to be Uncle Crowley and buying her like frilly pink dresses with blood on them and a book about ponies, and you're like, this is the darkness. Why are you giving her books about ponies?
Like, she eats souls, Crowley.
And she reads Dante's Inferno in Italian.
The original, yeah.
Why would you give her a book about ponies that pops up?
Because maybe he's realizing that he's making her a little bit too dark.
I don't know. I think he's just trying. He sees her as a child, so he's trying to like feed that child instinct in her,
which she doesn't have because she's only physically a child.
He's mostly keeping a hold of her so that when she does take over the world, that he's still around.
Yeah, well, that's what he said. He's like, I want her on my side.
Yeah, pretty much.
So she goes around just getting hungrier and hungrier, and she starts sucking out the souls of all his like little minions that he doesn't really need. And by the end of the episode, she's now a teenager.
A very tall teenager.
She's incredibly tall. Like, she's probably taller than me. And I'm really not that tall. So that's not saying much. Never mind. And there's just like a look on Crowley's face where he's like, ah, crap.
Yeah.
Because she's aging rapidly, like
faster than what I thought she was going to.
I guess they don't want to drag it out.
True.
So they are really going to spend like 5 episodes where she's still, you know, like an 8-year-old. That's just kind of
true. Yeah, that makes sense then. Guess get the plotline moving a bit faster.
So he sees like how the more souls she consumes, the more like rapidly she grows, and he's trying to talk her out of that. He's like, well, you know, maybe we'll cut back a little bit. Like, you don't really need to eat that many people. And she's like, no, I said I'm hungry.
Yeah,
like,
the older she gets, the more
unruly.
Yeah, the more like becomes in your face, like stubborn she gets.
Well, I mean, she is now a teenager.
True. Yeah.
So we all know how teenagers.
So that's pretty much all that really happened in the episode. It was pretty much the main plot was healing Cass, and then the side plot of Amara turning into a teenager.
Yeah.
Alright guys, so we would love to know what you guys thought of the episode in the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you later. Bye!